Chapter 19. The hooded man's fingers tightened around Clarissa's throat. A bead of sweat dripped from the long bird-like beak of his carnival mask. Clarissa's pale face had turned dark red. She struggled and kicked, but the killer's grip was too strong, crushing the life from her. "One squeeze," the hooded man said, "and she is gone." Anger took control of Wildboy. Before he even knew what he was doing, he leaped over the unconscious police officer and charged at the hooded man, screaming in rage. But the killer simply raised Clarissa higher. "It is almost as if you wish for it to happen." "Don't," Wildboy cried, stopping and stepping back. "What do you want?" "You found the doctor's secret laboratory. There is something I need from that room." "Tell me and I'll get it," Wildboy said. "Just let her go." "The doctor's notebook," the hooded man replied. His hand tightened around Clarissa's neck. "You have 10 seconds. If you are not back in that time, I will end Miss Everett's life and throw her from that window." Wildboy felt the doctor's journal in his pocket, but stopped himself from bringing it out. He and Clarissa had come here to look for clues to catch the killer, and here he was. Perhaps he could find a way to trap him. Clarissa's eyes rolled. Her red face began to turn blue. She couldn't register what was happening anymore, and Wildboy was almost glad. He knew she wouldn't like his plan. 5 seconds, said the hooded man. "Do not think I am joking." "Wait," Wildboy said. "I put it behind you." The killer's hand eased on Clarissa's neck. "The book," Wildboy said. "I hid it so Clarissa wouldn't see it. I was going to take it and leave her." The killer's hand tightened again. "I do not believe you." The Wildboy stared at the shrouded figure, refusing to back down. "Well then, you'll just have to kill her, won't you?" For a dreadful second he feared that he'd gone too far, but the hooded man's hand relaxed and Clarissa gasped a desperate breath. "Which jar?" the killer demanded. "That one with the eyeballs," Wildboy said, pointing to the jar that Clarissa had picked up before. "See where the dust has moved at the bottom? I hid the book behind there." The hooded man moved back, walking with those same awkward lurching steps that Wildboy had noticed at the fair. Keeping one hand on Clarissa's neck, the killer reached the other towards the shelf. "Wait," Wildboy said. "Just tell me why." "Why? Why kill those people? Just for some machine?" And then from behind the mask came something that caught Wildboy by surprise. A laugh. A deep, booming laugh so loud it shook the jars on the shelves. "Some machine?" the hooded man said. "No, not just some machine. The machine. If you knew what it was, you would think it worth killing for too. You of all people." "Me? What is it? Tell me." The dark eyes narrowed behind the killer's mask. "It is a very powerful machine. It is a machine that changes you. Imagine that, Wildboy of London. Imagine a machine that could make you normal like everyone else." Wildboy was too stunned to reply. What the killer had said wasn't possible, was it? He could never be normal. No, he couldn't think about that. He had a plan and he had to stick to it. He edged closer, watching the hooded man lift the jar of eyeballs from the shelf. The killer looked behind the jar. "I am disappointed," he growled. "What exactly did you hope to gain by that charade?" "This!" Wildboy yelled. He launched forward and slammed his side against one of the cabinets. The impact sent a bolt of pain up his wounded arm and a cry roaring from his mouth. But it worked. The cabinet swung down, straight at the hooded man.